It is August 5th at 5:47, a little bit late, but we will call the meeting to order if everybody would, or Jeannie,
Here.
Tara, Dawn is absent. Okay, pledge of allegiance, please.
Oh.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Any announcements or public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on. The consent agenda is the only thing is the July 8th meeting minutes. Does anybody have any questions on any of that?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Old business, I don't have any. New business, the policy resolution, since we redid the employee handbook, I took all of our policies and put them all into one because we had added so many throughout the year. So there's nothing new. They're just all together now in one book.
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Which one was that? 2507?
Yes, 2507 is just the resolutions all being in one document versus
For some
seven.
reason I didn't get that one printed. I don't know why.
I just looked at it online.
Well, I
Yep.
did. That's why I knew what it was.
Right, yeah,
Okay, so Jeannie, you said who made a motion? I'm sorry.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Jeannie second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
T.
I do that every time. Okay. Resolution 2508 is the credit card rewards. We get rewards for using a credit card, and I would like to use those for the cost of conferences and stuff like that. It's just, to me, it's not taxpayer money, but it is property that belongs to the township. So I would like to use those rewards from the credit card usage for conference.
Motion to approve resolution 25-08.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution 2509 is the Franklin Union Needham Township permitting contract with the Johnson County Housing Coalition. We have Amanda and Ross here that will speak on that. So if you would like to talk to the board and tell them about what the Housing Coalition on the master leasing is doing.
Okay, so Lydia came to us with a potential program. Basically, the idea is that the Housing Coalition takes the liability and enters a lease with a property owner that Lydia will find for the specific client. And then the coalition will enter an agreement, like a sublease basically, with that client, where they will have to do case management through Lydia, weekly. They will have to do all the things that the property owner and / manager would ask us to do. First initial fees and first and last month's rent and deposit. Basically, we would have two types of clients. We would have one that they are above the 60% area median income, and they just have maybe made some bad choices in the past, but they have the money. So say they have an eviction that was 8 years down the road or something like that, and the landlord's like, nope, we're still not leasing to them, right? But they have the money to pay and they need a second chance. So basically the coalition would take that liability, they would pay the money to us for 12 months. Then at 12 months we go to the property owner / manager and we're like, hey, they've paid all 12 months on time. Here we have it. We have a program called Turbo Tenant already with our residency rental program. We could use that so we can show and have all that paperwork. The idea would be that they take over the lease. So they're housed then at that point. And they've shown and proven that they can do it. Our second client would be a client that would be below that or at that 60% area median income. We've partnered with United Way of Johnson County. They're willing to put in some of the money for first and last month's rent. We would ask that the client most likely pay the deposit. Generally speaking, it's usually, a third, or basically another month's rent, the deposit is. And so we would be helping them with 2/3, they would pay for that 1/3 up front. And then, but they would still have to show that they could pay the monthly rent.
So
They
they're
would be-
finding their own housing and we're helping with the rent, basically.
No.
No, you're right.
Lydia is finding the
Is helping
housing.
them find the housing, we've got some property owners that have already said, yes, we will be in this pilot program with you.
Okay.
Basically, we as in us and United Way would be paying for 2/3 of like the initial fees.
Okay.
They would pay 1/3 and then the client would pay the monthly rent. And it
Okay.
would work the same way as the client that could pay. So they would pay those, that monthly rent that we found that they could pay, and then after 12 months, if they've done it, they again would get the lease, hopefully the property. Now, if the property owner's like, no, I wanna see 6 more months, we would be like, okay. But we've sort of put it to between 1 to 2 years, that the property owner needs to, at that point, be willing to sign that lease over to the client.
Okay.
It's a way of getting getting a person that can't, like she said, that has no chance of getting in that property or
Right.
to rent anywhere, gives them that chance to get in there and prove themselves.
Well, and those upfront fees, that's usually a big hurdle,
Mhm.
you know, and it's like, I
Yes.
can afford monthly, but I can't afford all of this
Yes.
and,
Right,
you know,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So instead of you guys potentially paying a lot for them to be in a space,
Oh, yeah,
then they could be paying their monthly rent.
yeah, our motel bills.
Mhm.
Indianapolis does it, Milwaukee does it, there's a lot of larger cities that's doing it. We aren't, naive, we know that there's gonna maybe potentially, be some issues, but we would love to pilot it, see how it goes. We want to do, we wanna be a nonprofit that does things a little differently, that is willing to maybe give some second chances and create relationships with that case management with Lydia. And then even potentially, they would have to be working with me on a monthly basis. There would have to be some communication because, we're working as sort of, we've signed the lease,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there would be some accountability there as well.
Yeah.
So that's sort of, do you guys have any questions? I know it sounds kinda crazy.
So, we're still staying in our
It would-
Franklin
it would-
Union Needham.
Well, the person has to be originally from Franklin Union and Needham, from the township.
Mhm.
They can move outside the township and that's why they can then assist them. Because it's hard to find, if somebody's working in Greenwood, we're going to encourage them to move closer to their work to save on gas if they're, just now looking for a place.
So, the initial money that we were going to donate, I guess we'll call it a donation to them,
Mm-hmm.
is that to help you
That
do
would,
pay the
there would
first,
be
last,
two,
and
there'd be
whatever?
only 2 reasons we would spend it, right? Most of, well, depending on how big the household is, United Way has, offered to, give a good chunk, actually, of last month's rent. So it wouldn't be a lot. We can't say for sure because every single household is gonna look different depending on where we put them and what the cost is, the size of their household. So a small portion would be spent on that. And then potentially, which we don't think is gonna happen, but if we're like, okay, this is not working, like either they break the lease or, they've missed case management and Lydia says, no, they're out. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Then there might be a month there where we have a lease and we don't have a client. We would hope that we could get a client in there ASAP, but we would hold that lease. That's why we need to do just a very few to get started
Right.
and see how things go.
So, the money that we would donate to you, would it only be used for people in our township area?
Yes, that is
correct?
correct. We
It
know that
couldn't,
could
cause
be.
got to thinking that after I was thinking about it, I thought, well, that money would have to stay.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why United Way is also coming on board to get the top of the county and the bottom of the county, basically.
Yeah.
And it's not like we can't reach out to the other townships too, to see if they're interested in
Yeah.
getting on this, once we get this pilot program up and we know all the ins and outs and.
So
So
how
are
many?
you looking at clients to serve that we already like are placing somewhere?
Well,
You know
and
what I'm
this
saying?
is,
Like,
this
'cause
is how it usually happens, we get the influx of homeless people or clients in the fall. That's when we start seeing more people coming here, we need a hotel, we need a hotel. We're going to vet that person to see if they're a good fit for this program. If they are, we're going to put them in a hotel, and for 2 weeks, we're gonna vet them, out, everything, we're gonna know everything about them. If I don't believe that they are a good fit for this program, then we offer them an Uber ride to a shelter. So, it would be people come, we don't have anybody on board, I have one family in the hotel right now, and I'm hoping today they found out that they got this mobile home because it's a
Okay.
family of 8.
Oh, wow.
They have been struggling since January to find somewhere.
Yeah.
Because of the number of kids, the income coming in, they could make it, they could make the payment, but they can't get in it. They can't get in anywhere, and it's been since January we've been working with them.
So how many people, how many families, I guess I should say, do you think you'll be able to help? What do you want, how should I say? To start off, what is your limit that you
I
want to?
think we're gonna start with 2 or 3
Okay,
and just see how that
How it
goes, to be real honest with you.
Yeah,
Because, just see, because there's gonna be things that we don't do right with the very first client, or things that we're like, oh, we should have done this, or this,
adjust it as we
yes.
go, yeah.
So I think this fall, through the winter, now if we see it's just like, okay, this is really working, maybe we could bump it up to 5. I have got some money, for those that have been affected, through incarceration. I have a little bit of money, that I can use for those people. I got a, NAP money from the state. So we are continually looking for ways to bring in other money. Yeah, we kind of felt like would be a great partnership between Lydia and United Way, or the trustee's office.
And we've got 2 property managers on board so far that I went to, and they said, yeah, we're on board with this. They're okay
well,
with
I was
it.
gonna ask you, so you don't have any places yet? She has to find the places or the people that will
Yeah.
work with this?
Yeah, because the property we have is already part of a different program that we run.
But it's not gonna be like, it's gonna be like the apartment complexes or a mobile home.
Yeah.
So I think,
So you're still responsible for the client?
for the case management, yes,
Yeah.
we're still gonna case manage
And all
them.
you guys do really is
We're
get
holding the
lease,
liability.
get the
Yeah,
lease,
and-
and that stuff.
So if the client defaults on their payment, you pay it? Okay.
Yeah, we'd have to, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
The
what,
coalition will pay it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spaces for all
Yeah.
technically.
technically
Yeah.
Spaces for All,
Okay.
yeah, because they're the parent organization.
We're the 501c3 with
okay,
Yeah, the lease and the agreement you'll be signing is technically with Spaces,
yeah.
Okay.
which is our parent.
And then we'll have like a sub-lease type agreement with the client.
Between the client and Spaces.
I think it sounds awesome. I think it'll work.
So do you have to keep track of all the money that's on their part too, or does she?
I
We'll
mean,
do
it will
that.
be- yeah,
Like, do we have to, as the your trustee stuff, do you have to record that in your stuff too?
Nope.
Okay.
nope, not according to our attorney, once we make the contribution to them, then that's all we have is,
That being said, we contract with a CPA, every penny that comes to us and there'll be a separate breakout for what comes through this. We don't do our accounting in-house.
We
It's-
just met with her actually.
yeah,
okay.
so
I mean, we
can
can
take
get
those trades.
updates
Yeah, you
anytime.
can,
Yeah,
we can get you monthly reports.
Well, I'm just thinking maybe you wanna get those just to have them
On
in
record.
case.
Right.
You know, cause ours, we're not a 501c or anything, we're a.
That's right, yeah.
So the money we get is money that's budgeted for
Right.
us, so I'm just thinking maybe we should have,
Mm-hmm.
just even if we don't need it, you might need it down the road,
right, yep,
you know,
Yep.
just,
open up a
I was
Google
just saying,
Doc.
as a backstop, you'd have meticulous records from us about
Right.
how much you
Mhm.
gave, how it was spent,
Right,
all that.
she's
I mean,
been,
that would just be good to know from a year-end standpoint.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
How it was going,
Yeah,
what it looked like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
or in case, unless somebody says, okay, for that money you gave them, what did they do
What
with that, you know,
happened?
what
Right.
happened to that money?
right,
you
oh,
know?
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
might wanna make sure that it stayed
Mhm.
within our boundaries, you know what
Oh,
I
it
mean? That's
will,
what I'm
yeah.
saying, so I just think it would be a good idea for us to get a copy of it, you
Jeannie,
know?
are you concerned about the properties being in the boundaries or the people?
Well, the people,
Okay.
because we're
I
really,
just wanted to be clear.
cause we're
Yeah.
really supposed to help people
That's
from
right.
Franklin Union Meeting.
Yep, yep.
Because if anybody else comes to her, I mean, we have, and
There's
that's
other
what,
trustees
yeah,
that need to.
yeah,
Right,
there's
exactly.
other
Yeah,
trustees in the
There's
other
a
areas,
reason
and that's
for
what I
the
try to
districts.
tell people, cause people will ask me sometimes when I'm out, cause I know I'm on the board, they wanna know, I've got so-and-so and they need help. and
Right.
They act like, you know, people think they're just gonna come in here and we're just gonna hand
Sure.
them money, and I have to try to explain to people, and I say, I really don't know a lot about it, you could go in and talk to the trustee. I said, there's certain criterias you have to meet,
Mhm.
you know, you just don't walk in and say, hey, I need
Yeah.
money to stay in a hotel for a week, and
Right.
okay, we write you a check, how much you need, you know? And but, you know,
I don't want it to be like that.
Yeah.
The coalition doesn't want it to be like
Yeah.
that.
cause you know, everybody doesn't understand it,
Yes,
you know, a lot of people don't know, and,
yes.
but a lot of times I just give them her number and say, you can go talk to her, she's the trustee, I'm on the board, I kinda know, but I don't know.
Can you give me a rough idea of the area that covers? I don't know, like,
Franklin Union needs.
So if you go all the way to the Shelby County line, to that way, I know left, right, I don't know, that's north, so, and then, all the way to the Morgan County line,
Mhm.
that's the area. Up north to the Whiteland area, and down at the bottom it gets a little weird, cause like you know where Hilltop Motel is? That's Blue River, which you would, yeah, it's.
It's
So like-
almost where
so like
we
we're
live.
Amity, that's what I was
Yeah.
getting ready to say, right above Amity, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
We're-
right to Amity.
I'm just cause like right now, I have, for the church, I have 3 assistance requests today from Lax Inn.
Oh, from people staying there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's just good to know.
yeah, we are, that Relax In is us. It's the Union part.
Hmm.
No, I'm sorry, Needham part,
Gotcha.
that's in Needham Township. You know, right before the new roundabout, before, you've got the roundabout and then Grace United,
Yep,
that's where the Franklin Union border is, just right in there,
okay.
yeah. But we don't have those borders anymore, we border free.
Cool. Good enough.
So do you guys have any other questions for Amanda or Ross?
I also feel like at some point if, this is gonna work, but if it doesn't, I mean, we are definitely keeping this money like separate and like, we can always donate it back to the trustee if that is.
Right, if we close the program down, yeah, the unused money would come back, yeah.
For sure.
Are we-
Yeah, and I read in there that either party can terminate the
Right,
Yes.
at
right.
any time
Yeah.
and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Are we
I
the,
read it,
are we
it
the
looks
first trustee
We're the first
Offices that
trustee
you-
you trust, we trust.
that you're trying this with? I mean, is this the first trustee associate,
Yes.
whatever you call this, I don't
Yes.
know what you call it.
Yeah.
Trustee office.
essentially, would be the second program that we're trying to launch from the residential side of things. We have the residency rental program that we just launched. This would be the second one.
Yeah.
This one though is, I think is very tried and true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's where, I learned about it out in California when I went to that conference, and they use it, when they talk about, they have a master leasing apartment, they have a 180 unit apartment building, the whole thing is like that. That's what they, out in California, I was like, yeah, I don't want that much. But they had one guy buy out a whole 180 unit complex, went straight into master leasing. And one company rents the whole building and then puts people in it. It's really cool.
Well, the reason it spoke to my heart is because, like, when we were down at community corrections, we used to go down there and do some meetings and stuff. Folks that were coming out of there, they had the means, they had a good job, but they could not find a place that would rent it to a felon, and we're talking like a felony 6.
Right,
That, I mean, don't get me wrong, felony 6 matters.
right, right,
It's different than some of the others.
right.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great model.
I had a client that was denied over a 20-year-old misdemeanor.
Yeah, so.
I mean, 'cause it's a landlord's market, they can be very picky and choosy right now.
Mhm.
Well, thank you guys
Yeah,
for
thank you.
presenting and.
Oh, one other question.
Yeah,
real
of
quick.
course,
Speaking
Jeannie.
of that, if someone moves in a place
Yes.
and they do some damage
Yes.
to the place,
Yes.
what,
We will hold we were just talking about this, and we have to be the one that holds their damage deposit.
Right.
And so if that would be the case, then we would not be giving that damage deposit back.
Right.
Because we would be responsible for fixing that before we put another client in that space.
cause we have some rentals and I know what people can do to
I
them.
kinda have a history of rentals too, and I
Well,
understand.
and Amanda mentioned liability, we have I'm calling our liability policy to figure out how to name what needs to be named to make sure there's no surprises, if something unimaginable happens. So.
Yep.
So we'll be covered from that.
Will you guys
angle.
do like check-ins and stuff, like you would usually
I
check in?
will continue to
Okay.
case manage them
Okay, okay,
throughout while they're in this program.
okay, that's good.
Yeah, and Amanda's gotten us a really cool case management app. I really like.
Perfect. Okay, so you need a motion?
For resolution 2509,
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, which also, this resolution, you guys are giving me the authority to enter into the community service agreement with
Spaces for all.
Spaces
so
for
you
All.
answered my
Correct,
question
yes.
on that one, cause I got to this one, I knew what it was, and I got to this one, I thought, what is this one?
Yeah,
Then I
that's,
got thinking, what must be, I hope
Yeah,
it's
Jeff-
related.
Jeff Bellamy prepared both of these, the resolution and the agreement, so we're all legal.
So I kinda answered my own question before I got here.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys,
Motion
nice
Yeah,
meeting
thank
you.
Good luck. Nice meeting you
Got
too.
your work cut out for you.
Oh, we definitely do.
We're